536 was called like the worst year on record. It had 18 months of darkness. It was followed by like a mini ice age, followed by the bubonic plague, famine, wars. What people say is that during this time, the Roman Empire collapsed and this began the Dark Ages. This sounds like the bowls of wrath. This sounds like trumpets. This sounds like the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It sounds like all those things. We're told that Jesus was in the first century. The destruction of Jerusalem was in 70 AD. I can imagine a lot of people, skeptical people who would be rightfully skeptical, they would say, well, that's interesting, but without it being closer to the times of Jesus, it seems like, well, that does sound kind of like it, but I don't buy it because it's not close enough. That was one of the said collapses of civilization in Europe, but it was one of three. Early antiquity collapse, there's a mid-antiquity collapse, and then you have a late antiquity collapse. The Western Roman Empire falls in early antiquity. Later, the mid-antiquity, you had a collapse on the eastern side. So the Eastern Roman Empire fell in mid-antiquity. And then late antiquity, the northern Europe collapsed. During the 536 timeline, it's said that the Mayan civilization collapsed at the same time. Now, historians mention that it could be volcanoes, it could be comets or meteors, but I mean, they really don't know when you actually really look into it. There's just no way that you could have this far-reaching collapse all the way to the Americas and it not affect the rest of Europe. Based on stratigraphy, there was no advancement in architecture, culture, art, and language. All the buildings are all at the same level of strata. The collapse in early antiquity, mid-antiquity, and late antiquity was all the same collapse. You take out 700 years, you put them all at the same level. This is when the world basically collapsed. 536, this was right after Jesus.